Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. The moment I realized I wasn't a little kid anymore. I was on my way back to my home, when I heard some guys talking about the moment they realized they were not little kids anymore. I didn't listen to all their conversation, but that phrase stayed on my head for a while, and made me ask myself about the moment I realized I wasn't a little kid anymore. The answer: when I was 16, after my mother whipped me with a belt from the back, and I didn't fall to the ground in pain. I have lots of stories like this, but this one had stayed with me over the years. I remember at that age, my daily routine was 2:30 arrive home from school, 2:30 to 4:30 change clothes, eat, chores and homework, 5 to 6 o'clock training, and the rest of the day I used it on all the remaining things. That day, I remember arriving home, and find my mother screaming at my brother. He was 14, and on that age, he had a talent to get in troubles and mess with people, teachers, classmates, everyone. One of my mother's ways to raise us, was that if one of us did something wrong, both would be corrected. She justified it saying it was a preventive method, to dissuade the another one of doing that thing. At this day, I only can think about it as being grounded without doing anything. That day, the moment I arrived, she started to tell at me too, accusing me to be lazy, useless, the usual ones. I took it, as I was used to, and proceeded to do my routine. I did some of my homework until it was time to go to my training, but the moment my mother saw me getting ready, she started berating me about how both of us, yes, every time she scolded one of us, she would talk in plural ustedes, tu hermano, los dos, tu comparo, etc., we're useless, disgusting pigs, marranos asquerosos, that we didn't have any love to our home, because if we have any we would be cleaning it until it was perfect. I still don't know where that obsession about cleaning comes from, that it was our fault the house was disgusting and that I will not go anywhere until the house was clean. She wanted me to clean all the furniture on her way. Her way was cleaning it with a wet rag, then doing it again with a dry rag, then again with wood oil, and then again with another dry rag, 4 times each one. I told her I would have enough time to do that I would do it later, and that it wasn't urgent, because I cleaned the furniture yesterday. Son of a bee, don't dare to talk back to me. I'm your mother, and if I give an order, you don't question, you do it. Hijo de la chingada, a mí no me contestes. Soy tu madre, y cuando yo orden, mis órdenes no se cuestionan, se cumplen. Punto. That was her answer. I put her original words, as I don't know how to properly translate it. I remember that moment as one of the first times I stand up against her, because I choose to go to my training instead of wasting my day on an useless chore. Well, she didn't like it. When I returned, she started again with the screams, name-calling, and threats. I told her that I will do it on that moment, but somehow that made her even more angry, saying I should have done it the instant she ordered it, no when I wanted to do it. She kept berating me for about 30 minutes, when I made the mistake of breathing too hard, which she took as a sign of disrespect. Don't dare to roll your eyes, and stop making fucking faces or I slap you back to normal. A mí me reveres los ojos, y cuida esa pinche cara o te la quita chingadazos. I was done at that point, so I told her to do what she wants. Her face went red and run to her room, and came back a couple seconds later with my father's belt on her hand. My first reaction was of fear. All my childhood I knew that, the moment she grabbed the belt, she would hit me until she got tired, no matter how much I cried or screamed. But after the first hit, I was really surprised I wasn't on the floor rolling for the pain. It didn't hurt. And for some reason, I got so angry. I was so tired of that situation, that when she tried to hit me again, I grabbed the belt and didn't let it go. She started screaming like crazy, ordering me to let it go. But I didn't. She tried to pull it, but I grabbed it with everything I had. Her face was a mix of desperation, angry and impotence. She kept telling me that she was my mother, that I had to obey her, and when that didn't work, she started screaming that I was hurting her, I was hurting my own mother. Meanwhile, she started to dig HWR nails on my hand and arms, hit me with her fists. She was so desperate that she even bite my fingers, to make me let go the belt. But I didn't. With all that noise, my father finally showed, asking what was happening. Stupidly, I believed she would behave with my father there, so I let go the belt and started to explain him everything. While I was showing him the nails/teeth marks, when behind me, I heard an "ah" followed by a hit on my back. She whipped me with the belt on my back. My brother tell me that, after that, I glared at my mother in a way he had ever saw me do it. I only know that she didn't tried it again. The consequences, I was grounded for 2 months. My father didn't do anything, he got on her side. Even if she was wrong, she is your mother, and you must respect and obey her. That was the answer. The good side is, that was the last time she ever physically hurted me. Both of us realized that afternoon that I wasn't a little kid anymore. She was losing power, losing control. Also, that was the moment I realized I wanted to get away from her. Story 2. Mom blames hanging out with my friends on my bad behavior. Read for context. Hello people of Reddit. And possibly Redditor. So for context is I'm a 15-year-old male and this happened today and I'm writing about it as I'm fuming. I live in the Midwest and it is blazing hot. It's the beginning of August, our climate is always like this, and I play football, American football not soccer, for my high school and we just got done with practice about an hour ago at the time of writing this. Right now it is the training camp basically and we are supposed to wear helmets. Mind you, we had weight training at 8 in the morning. So after I went to weight training I went with a friend to hang out at the library and then went to my grandma's, had lunch at my local Little Caesars, a pizza place for people who don't know, and then hung out at the park for a while. Then we rode our bike to practice a few hours later. I am a wide receiver in catch the ball and score, so I had to run all over the field in the what felt like 100-degree weather. And I had a football helmet on. So I bike to my grandma's and call my dad. The ensuing conversation is begun. Dad, hey, what's up? Me, so I biked to grandma's house. Can you come pick me up? I live outside of my town. Dad, sure. Me, thanks. Also, can me and Jane, not a real name for privacy, go to the library and hang out tomorrow? Mom in the background. Ugh, I don't want to pick him up tomorrow because I don't want to make 2 trips into town. Dad then relays this information to me and I ask why does she have to make 2 trips? Dad, I don't know, you'll have to ask her when you got home and you have to clean up the porch because we have people coming over. Me, shoot, I forgot. Okay, see you in 15 minutes. 15 minutes later. Me, hi mom. Mom, hi OP, how was your day? Me, good. Hey, can I go out with friends tomorrow? Mom, I don't want to make 2 trips into town. Me, why would you have to? Mom, because I have the Walmart order. And what time would you be home? I started to get frustrated because she asked this multiple times. Me, I don't know. Okay, can I take my shower so I can feel better? Mom, no, because I need to know what time you'll be back. At this point I am getting really frustrated. Me, I don't know. Okay? Mom, okay, clearly you can't hang out with friends because you are getting an attitude with me. Me, no it's not, I just got home from practice, I sweat my butt off and you're making me frustrated right now. Mom, clearly it's not that. Me, okay then, how about you go run around for 3 hours straight with the sun beating down on you in 100-degree weather and see if you're pissy with me. Mom, don't be rude with me and go take your shower. Me, that's what I've been trying to do. So that's the end. I have more stories of my crazy mom if you want to hear them. The end. Story 3. Parents try to cancel Beetlejuice cause it's inappropriate for their kids. Spoilers for the musical. A few months ago, I went to see the tour version of Beetlejuice, it being my very first musical to ever go to. I went early to get in line for the souvenirs, getting a plush and tote bag before sitting in my seat next to a family of 4 as the show started. Not even past Act 1 is right when they start complaining about it. As soon as the song "The Whole Being Dead Thing" starts and when BJ snorts coke during the song, the mom quickly covers her son's eyes as the dad speaks out. I thought this was for kids. Guy probably never saw the movie it was based on or thought it'd be like the cartoon. Other times they complied was when BJ made several sexual jokes and advances on Adam and Barb, Charles and Delia making out, and a bit of gore, but it wasn't till near the end of Act 1 that they were shocked and disgusted, that being when Lydia contemplates ending her life. During the intermission, they went to a staff member and yelled out, "What kind of kids play talks about suicide? And we want a refund and compensation for our scarred children." The kids were fine and laughed at the humor. Staff says they can't since they watched it. Long story short, they stayed and complained more from how sexualized Ms. Argentina was, and the references to her accident, the creepy old guy song, Lydia and BJ getting married and Lydia impaling live BJ. After the play I end up talking to them. "So what did you think of it?" "Ed, that was the worst thing I've ever taken my child to, who would like that filth?" This should be banned from ever playing, it's nothing but dirty humor." "Me, well you should like it since you both got tote bags, plus highs, and a shirt from the stand." After I say that, they quickly throw most of their stuff in a trash can. Minus the plushes cause their kids held onto them, and left as I watched them throw hundreds of dollars worth of gifts in the trash. Spend hundreds of dollars on tickets, buy cheap food, and toss away expensive souvenirs all because you don't like your kids watching some dark humor that was better than the show itself. Story 4. My mum thinks I am an extension of her. Growing up, my mum was emotional, abusive and neglectful, which led to me living with my dad during my teenage years and cutting contact with her. We reconnected when I turned 18 and started living on my own. I am now 25. It's been a lot of hard work, but we actually now have a healthy relationship and are even in therapy together. Sometimes she will admit to the abuse only to deny everything later. This is okay with me. Like I said, we are in therapy and working through our shared trauma. She has a lot of trauma herself, and while I don't know the details, I imagine that her abuse towards me stems from how she was treated as a child. As she has become more aware of her own trauma and worked through it, our relationship has improved and she has taken more responsibility for her actions. We were recently talking about my early childhood and she said something that made me realize where our issues have come from. She told me, "Your child is basically an extension of you, so it's really hard when they start to pull away from you." She said it like viewing your child as an extension of yourself shows how much you love your child. This freaked me out as, to me, this mindset is fundamentally the source of abuse. I felt dehumanist when she said that. How do I explain to her that viewing a child as an extension of yourself is not the loving action she thinks it is and is actually incredibly damaging? TLDR, how do I explain to my mum that I am not an extension of her without ruining the relationship we have worked so hard to build? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.